And we are assholes, and that's okay. We piss people off, and it makes our day. Yeah, you can see I got my sock monkeys there today. They're being assholes, too. They won't get out of my damn shirt. Don't ask me. I don't know. It's something to do with the scent, the smell, the feeling of comfort. That's enough of sock monkeys. I've had enough of sock monkeys.
It's your musk.
It's my musk. Yes, it's my musk. Richard's here today, of course, and that's good. We've got him back. And, of course, I'm here. Of course. Don't forget, it's coming time to vote. Down here in Texas and San Antonio, we're about to vote for the mayor and several other important positions. And getting all those mailings in the old mailbox down. Lots of different people. And none of them identifying themselves or which party they belong to. So, and on that note, I'm going to make some predictions. I want to get this down on tape. I want to make some predictions to get this down on tape, okay? So maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, that crazy son of a bitch was right. Huh. But one of the first predictions I'm going to make, and I've been saying this now since Der Fuhrer has come into office, we are going to be going away from citizenship in this country, as we know it, to what I like to call meritocracy citizenship. You ever heard of meritocracy citizenship?
I've heard of it. I don't remember what it is.
Okay, so meritocracy citizenship basically is you have to agree with the power that's in charge at the time, or else you're no longer a citizen. You're no longer considered a citizen. Now, a lot of this is based on the fact that they've been sending these people away, exiling these people to foreign countries and whatnot. Whether they be legal or illegal, it doesn't matter, really. The problem is there's no due process of law. I got a problem with that. I got a big problem with that. I always brought up that under the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, whether you're a citizen or not, you are held responsible under the Bill of Rights, or under our laws, and thus you are entitled to our Bill of Rights. So you do have due process that you should be getting, not just being pulled into the back of a truck, put on a plane, and sent somewhere else. Now they're talking about that they want to do this with American citizens that are criminals. Yeah, I got a problem with that one. These guys need to be locked up if they're criminals, and particularly the violent ones and the ones that really hurt people and everything. But you're not sending them to foreign countries. You're not supposed to do that. That's against the law. That's against the Constitution.
What law?
We're going to end up... What law?
What law?
The Constitution. Having to do with... the Constitution is the law.
I'm suggesting that we're lawless now.
Oh, you're suggesting we're getting there. We're getting there. I agree with you.
No, this is because I'm a prize.
Oh, you're a prize tonight?
I'm a prize.
Oh, what are we going to award you for?
Award me for it? No.
No, not award you. What are we going to award you for? What do they have to do in order to get you?
I didn't see this heading that direction. I didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know.
You don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
everything would have to be bleeped.
Yeah, if
I got some ideas.
If you would like to participate and comment below in the below the video here, we will send you a genuine flog.
Oh, they can't even see your things.
No, they can't. Well, stand up a little bit so they can see your flog. Ah, look at that. Got his flog.
Oh shit.
Oh, what happened?
Hang on.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Richard's wearing.
It's a flog.
Yeah, he's a flog. He's a flog. Where does that come from again?
Oh, English.com.
English.com. Yeah, you heard that. English, not English. English. A flog. I like the shirt. But don't forget, get out and vote. Do your thing. You know, it's up to you. Another thing I'd like to predict is the price of gasoline is going to go through the roof. Now, there's reasoning behind my prediction on this. The government wants to control you. That's pretty obvious. we're seeing this going on now every day, you know, with the way things are being changed right now by the Republicans. And I don't call him by his proper name. I like to refer to him as Biff, the character in Back to the Future. You know, the way he is just destroying human rights and destroying, you know, and ripping up the Constitution and telling the judiciary, which is equal in power, you know, and responsibility as he is, but he decides that they're not. They want to keep control of you. And what's the best way to keep control of a population? It's by making them not mobile. You have a population that stays in one place all the time, doesn't go anywhere, doesn't go out of state lines, doesn't leave the city, things like that. And how can you do that? Yeah, you can make gasoline about $12, $15, $20 a gallon, and they won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh. But but those are my. Let me see. Reminds me of. Oh yeah. Well, you know. Then they're deporting American, quote, terrorists to foreign prisons, of course, you know, which I'm all against and whatnot. And and despite what they're being told by the Supreme Court, they're not making it possible for them to come back or bringing them back, even though they've been told to, and under the law they're supposed to. You know, it reminds me of my friend Tony. I worked with a guy in a print shop once, named Tony. Had his daughter for the summer here in San Antonio, Texas. His ex-wife living out in California, Los Angeles, I believe it was. Well, here we are one hot summer afternoon at work, sweating our yayas off as usual, you know, just dripping. In comes San Antonio Police Department looking for my buddy Tony. And I was like, uh-oh, Tony, what did you do, man? And Tony's like, I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. I didn't do anything this time. I'm innocent. Well, it turns out they had an arrest warrant for him out of California for kidnapping. So they arrested him. And they extradited him, or as I like to think of it, deported him to California, to Los Angeles, California, to stand trial. Tony gets spent some time in the county jail there in Los Angeles till his case finally comes up. His case comes up, goes before the court, and the judge finds out all the particulars behind this case. Turned around, dismissed the case, released Tony, and arrested his wife for making false claims against him and wasting the state of California's money and time. At which point, Tony goes, well, you guys are going to get me home, right? No. Tony had to hitchhike home from California to Texas.
Wow.
He didn't have a choice, man. He didn't have a nickel in his pocket, man. He didn't have nothing. Even the guy that was his public defender was like, hey, man, I wish I could slide you $10 to help you out, pal, but I'm barely eating myself. Yeah, and he was pretty hungry by the time he got back to San Antonio. Oh, poor Tony, man. You know, in that same sweatshop. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. That print shop was a sweatshop. We didn't sweat a lot. In that same shop was a guy that was we called a roll tender. He was one of the guys that would hang huge rolls of paper on the press. His name was Barbosa. I forget his first name. We had two guys there. We had a Mike Barbosa, and then we had another guy named Barbosa. I can't remember the second guy's first name, though. But his name was Barbosa. And he was known as something of a ladies' man. You know, yeah, he'd always come back with all these wild stories of how he had spent his time off, you know, going to clubs and meeting different women and whatnot. Well, he came in with one particular story one night. You know, came into work one night, one particular story. He goes, yeah, man, I feel like a complete jackass. And I go, what do you mean? You know, what are you talking about, dude? What do you feel like a complete jackass? I went out to the club Thursday night, man, and I picked up this beautiful woman. I mean, she was gorgeous. She was even intelligent. Surprised me, why would she hang around with me? So I get her home, and we start getting hot and heavy, and clothes start coming off and everything. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at her skin, and I'm going, what's all the spots? Like, have you got a disease? Or what the hell is this? What's going? And she looked up at me and said, those are freckles, asshole. Poor girl was covered head to toes in freckles, and this guy was freaking out on her, man, thinking she had some sort of sexual disease or something, So yeah, Tony, he felt like an asshole, and he should have. Oh man, I would love to have been the fly on the wall on that one. Yeah. Jeez, he missed his chance to play connect the dots and a whole bunch of stuff. We also had a pair of brothers who worked there. Let me see. Yeah, we also had a pair of brothers who worked there, who had a sort of a side business. What you would do is, whenever you ran in, one worked day shift, one worked night shift. And whenever you ran into one of them, and say you needed something, set of tires for your truck, power washer to wash the driveway and the sidewalks at the house, or maybe a new spray rig and a what do they call those tanks that they use on them with them?
Air compressor?
Yeah, air compressor or something like that. You would just have to tell these brothers, yeah, I'm looking for this. And they'd go, okay. And they'd bring out their little notebook and write it down. And within 24 hours or the next day, of course, 24 hours is the next day, they would show up at work with the requested item at a heavily discounted price. And of course, nobody ever thought about it and, ever questioned it. Until one day the cops came in and arrested both of them. Turned they had a cousin working at one of the big box stores, and they would place the order with him, at which point he would sort of let it go fall out the back warehouse door. Get his little bit of it. They'd pay him his little bit, and then they'd take it, bring it back to the shop, and sell it to the guy who was asking for it. I mean, you can get anything with these guys damn near, man. I'm surprised you couldn't buy houses through them. But that's how it is. Oh, by the way, tonight our show is being brought to you by Floppies Floppies. When your toes are swollen in work boots sweat. No, when your toes are I got to get this right or they won't pay us. When your toes are swollen from all week rolling in work boot sweat, Floppies they come in a variety of colors. Spray paint may peel after you get them. With wafer thin to tundra tracking soles, Floppies, when it's gonna get real, an adventure in footwear. You're gonna get some Floppies, huh?
You're using sloppy and floppy in the same sentence, and that's enough for me.
That's enough for you.
That's enough to get my dumb ass laughing. I'm easy.
In other words, I'm reaching the lowest common denominator tonight. Wow. Well, Richard's got a story to tell you. Actually, he has 2 stories to tell you. Come to think of it. I'm going to let him tell these stories. And I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to comment for a change.
Okay, so I have a habit of falling out of bed. First time this happened was, it was years ago. Just not just, casually roll off. No, I would fly out of bed, hit the floor, start laughing my ass off, and Jen going, what the fuck happened? I'm just laughing.
Who's Jen?
My wife.
Oh, okay. Well, see, they don't know that.
Oh, all right. Anyway, my wife's laughing, and what the fuck is going on? All I can say is what happened. I dreamed I was doing karate, I was doing some kind of jump kick, and I fucking off bed. Well, that happened again just recently, like maybe a week or two ago. I'm getting better at it as it turns out. A lot more stealthy, ninja-like. This time, threw my own ass out of bed again, landed on my butt, and it was quiet. I looked over. Wife didn't even wake up. She didn't even wake up. I'm like, well, here I am, like upside down on the floor. And just crawl back in bed and go back to sleep. Hope that dream doesn't pick up where it left off, or I'd be throwing myself off again. And then it was last week, I think. Yeah, see, I'm known to be smooth, all right? So I wanted to be smooth. And I was like, what is itching on my head? I forgot this fucking thing was there. So I'm like, I'm going to take a shower. Hey, babe, I'm going to take a shower. You want to join me? She's like, ooh, yeah. I was like, hey, let's get some music playing. All right, okay. And then so we bring in one of those waterproof speakers, little Bluetooth speakers, and we pull up.
So let me ask you here. You know, are you guys using bar soap or are you using body wash?
Body wash.
Okay.
Bar soap's nasty.
Yeah, bar soap I find kind of makes it a little difficult when you're taking a shower with someone else. Yeah. Especially when the soap gets dropped.
Yeah, it's a small shower. There's maneuvering in there, going back and forth. Okay, who needs a shower head now? It is one of the pop. Anyway, nobody needs to know like the particulars of my shower, but
well, my ex-girlfriend used to complain. Like, John, you're gonna have to buy body wash whenever we take a shower together. I go, what are you talking about? Because every time I drop the soap, whoop. Gonna complain. I mean, we just stopped taking showers together. It's that easy.
And I was like, nah, let's put on some music. So yeah, we got a smooth jazz playlist going on the speakers. And we're passing each other because she needs to. I don't know. I'm gonna put shampoo on my hair while she's busy, rinsing off stuff off her face, and then we cross paths again. And every time I do that, I try to get all sexy and stuff, and I was like, yeah. And then one of the times I was doing that, I fucking slipped and fell all the way the fuck out of the tub, completely out of the tub, upside down again. Banged about everything on the way down. You can't see it, but my leg and foot is all fucked up and bruised. Like initially I was just like, just like it was, once the initial pain wore off, I mean, within a minute I'm laughing because like, yeah, I'm gonna be sexy. Oh motherfucker! Ow! And then the whole time the smooth jazz is still going. It's just like, fuck, are you okay?
Floppies, flip-floppies can fix that with the Tundra trackers, man. They'll nail you down to that tub. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to be like your foot in the mud.
It's just...
Richard, what are you waiting for? I can't get my foot loose.
I can just imagine like what that must have looked like in my head. I could not stop laughing. It's like, this is some shit straight out of a comedy. But no, I'm used to that. I'm used to throwing myself off of the bed, slipping out of the shower.
I just burped. Excuse me.
So that's just that was a thing that happened. But yeah.
So you're trying to get romantic and basically have sex in the shower, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, kind of fell out.
Okay. It killed the mood?
Well, not necessarily, but...
I was going to go, man. I was going to say, 20 years ago, hell, even for me 20 years ago, that wouldn't have killed the mood. I mean, that'd have been a point, to play up, get that sympathy going there.
Well, it was pretty painful to use that fucking leg for a good 2 hours.
No, that's not going to, you ignore that. You forget about that. Oh, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's just like when you go to the party, get drunk, break your leg, and you're still partying.
I never partied like that.
Yeah, I've done it once. One time. Of course, I paid for it the next morning. But, well, how long have we been doing this?
20 minutes.
Now, you see, if you watch the show at all, or follow us, you'll know that I tend to do that. How long have I been doing this? 20 minutes. Man, that's a short show tonight. I don't know, man. I just didn't have much to say, I guess. I tried to fill it in with some stuff. But
Sloppies, flip-floppies.
yeah, sloppies, flip-floppies, man. We'll spray paint them any color you want. Well, I forgot the name. Give you the name of the show, and this is John Sees the World, or John Sees the World. But we'll see you next time on John Sees the World, or John Sees. Is it John Sees the World?